Hello and welcome to this episode of Microchips and part 2 of the Superstar 360 FM sideband radio modification. In the previous episode we did some essential work on this radio and set the foundations for the modification that's going to take place to this radio. So here's a quick reminder of what the radio used to look like. And let's get started. So for this modification we need to remove the PLL chip and replace it with one of my modification boards. So here it is. This modification board will take place instead of the binary adders that are on the board, and this will give you -80 to +80 UK40 readout, 10 kc for alphas and 5 kc channel switching. So here's the board in the radio with all its wires that we'll have to connect up. It's looking good. So first thing first, we need to take out the original 3-way band select and we need to replace it with a 6-way. But first we need to lock the original binary adders inside the radio to 8 volts. So that's MX2 on the board and that's the purple wire on this. So what we're going to do is we're going to unsolder the purple wire, remove that short white wire which carries 8 volts, and we're going to attach the purple wire to that point. We'll then lock the radio to mid-band so we can use our PIC conversion to control the bands. So there's 3 wires there for low, mid, high. We've got the white wire which supplies 8 volts. So we're going to take away the white wire and we're going to connect the purple wire which comes from MX2 on the main board, and we solder it to this point here, and that's the radio locked to mid-band. So now we can properly use our modification board. So we've taken away the wires that we don't need to keep it nice and tidy. Now the other wires on the band select are to do with the VCO, and we need to lock those to negative, as we'll be doing other modifications to the VCO. So a quick check, make sure everything's working. Okay, our radio is definitely locked onto mid-band. So first part, we're going to connect up the 10 kc switch which we'd salvaged last time. So that's the 10 kc switch in the radio. That'll do nicely for the alphas, and we'll give it a test. And there's our 10 kc shifting upwards, only on the alpha channels. Now for the 5 kc we haven't got a spare switch, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the SWR cal control with one with a switch on it for the times when we need 5 kc. So let's try that. So we're on 985, switch it, and there's 990. So there's our 5 kc working quite nicely. So this is the wire for the VCO from the band select, and I've been advised that we just strap that to ground. If we do get VCO problems, then we could use this. So a little bit of heat shrink tubing around it. Keeps it nice and tidy. So next thing, we need to put our new band select in. So this is one that I'd made a while ago. I'd converted a 3-way into a 6-way by taking it apart and changing the end stop. So I've been waiting to use this, so this is the time. So there's it connected up with all the bands, super low to super high with UK 40. Fits nicely into the radio. Now we need to start off with the modifications. So R125 needs to be replaced, and we replace that with a 1K resistor. So looking at the board layout, we can see it's right near the PLL chip, and of course it's in the most awkward place ever, but there it is. And out it comes. So we'll put a 1K in its place. Now the next one we need to do is R126. We need to change that to a 36K. And of course R126 is even closer to the PLL, and it's actually the test point. Now I didn't have a 36K resistor, so I made one out of 2 other resistors, plus that'll do nicely for the test point as well. So there's our resistor out, and we'll place our new 36K in place. Now we also need to add some capacitance across pins 7 and 8 of the PLL. Now I didn't have a 180 picofarad capacitor, but I managed to make one that's close. We'll just drop that on the underside of the board. This supposedly stops some synthesizer whine on low band. Now wideband the receive. We need to change this value. We need to change it to a 4P7. So that'll do in there. So that is C55. Let's do some quick tests. Everything seems to have come on, seems to be working for now. Tidied up some of the wires, put some cable ties here and there. So this modification wouldn't be complete without a custom decal, and here it is. Custom made by that nice chappie on Facebook and eBay. I just mailed him with my requirements, and there it is. So now we've got a dedicated switch for the 10kc, the beep on and off. We've got all the bands correctly labelled up. Unfortunately I haven't got the 5kc labelled up, as I'd made this decal before I'd made the modification, but it's a nice hidden feature. The rest of it though looks amazing, much better than it was. It's turned a tatty old front into something that's really nice. So that's super low. There's low band. Yep, back onto low band. I'll go onto mid band. Onto high band. Onto UK 40. And onto super high. Unfortunately, I didn't have super high on the decal, so I placed it after UK 40. And there's our bleep switched. Our 10kc for our alpha channels. Our 5kc switching. Nicely hidden away. So I think this radio's turned out very nicely now. That decal on the front has really changed the appearance of the radio and made it definitely look more presentable. So this Superstar 360 FM definitely looks a lot better from when I got it. Got more bands, 10kc, 5kc on it, and obviously the new decal on the front, which completely transforms the radio, and with a modern modification board inside, it's definitely keep it going now for another 40 years. If you're interested in this board used in the radio, drop me a line on my Facebook group on here. If you like this video and want to see others, click this link. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I even have a Patreon. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.